And we live, ladies and gentlemen. We live. Back at
Peace
it
to
again.
peace to the family
Doing,
out there, man. Yeah,
yeah,
peace to the
we
family.
back after a
So
2 week hiatus.
yo, for starters, I'm pulling up some information right now, basically on the topics of discussion that we're gonna be dealing with tonight. But for starters, man, for those that's actually watching it live tonight, as well as those that may come back and watch it, the subscribers or people that want to just come to the page and just actually view the material. When I actually was been checking the actual aneurysms, not the aneurysms, but the
Analytics.
analytics, excuse me, analytics on the views. What I've been noticing out there is that the analytics is been great from a viewership standpoint, well as this page Black Men Discuss, as well as my page Street Columnists. But what people are not doing, they're not subscribing.
Right.
So it's kind of like I have to, or me and Ken, we actually have to keep on reiterating and actually keep self promoting the page to get y'all to come back and look at the material. When you don't have to do that, if you will go ahead and just subscribe to the page, then you will get the indicator or you'll get a notification stating that the video has been uploaded. So please subscribe to the page. Word of mouth is the most powerful thing that we can do. So if you know anybody that's watching it, spread the word to them so they can, what I'm saying, subscribe to the page. And we just trying to build it more and more and more, man. Without further ado, I'm gonna get into the actual discuss what the subjects is. Keem actually came up with this one. We were supposed to do it 2 weeks ago because of the NBA playoffs. Things was conflicting schedules. We kind of postponed some things, but we was never had any intentions of not getting back to the regiment because we definitely gonna stay on track with that. But Keem actually came up with this thought concept. Me and him was actually discussing what we wanted to talk about. We know that right now, sports has been one of our hottest subjects that people are actually been getting hits about as far as concerning people and their interests. So we kind of want to keep it relevant to that, but at the same time, we still gonna bounce around to different things because that's what the platform is built on.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, King came up with the thought as far as we want to talk about professional athletes and pretty much are these professional athletes, do they hold a certain obligation or are they entitled or are they doing enough for their respected communities as far as the black communities, as far as low poverty areas, and are their finances and are economically are they devoting their money and giving back to the community? This is something that I feel like we kind of beat around the bush a lot of times with athletes, and I feel like they don't get enough pressure. Some of them I feel like do a lot of work, and then you got some of them that don't do shit. So we pretty much wanted to discuss some of that shit tonight. We also want to discuss the NBA playoffs, and the NBA finals that's currently going on. Some things that's involving with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, the supporting cast, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and all of those boys. And then we also gonna talk a little bit about this the subject that I feel like is very hot right now. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it on Instagram. I'm seeing it on different social media. I'm seeing people talking about it and on radios, podcasts. I'm seeing people talk about it on TV live. This word that is revolving around called cooning. What is a coon? Who is a coon? And what the fuck is cooning? So we're gonna really dig deep into those particular subjects. And as far as other little things that may come into play when we're discussing those subjects, I feel like right now these things are hot right now and need to be discussed. And we're gonna get into it tonight, man. So without further ado, man, let's get into it. Let's talk about these NBA finals. Keem said he had some shit today when I talked to him earlier that he wanted to get off his chest objectively about his ride or die man's LeBron James. So I'm dying to hear this fucking shit. So I really want him to go ahead and see what I really want to hear what he got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this nigga is another version of Shannon Sharp. LeBron can't do no wrong. He's the king. He was born from the heavens and earth. And
What
I mean,
what Shannon say? The simple fall.
Yo, that's one nigga that be riding for LeBron James, dog. I swear to God, like, whoo! Listen, I done seen some LeBron James fans out there, bro, or LeBron James stands, as niggas like to say. But Shannon Sharp, as far as ex-athlete, boy, he cut the fucking cake, boy. I mean, because I've been watching Undisputed faithfully for the past month, and I'm telling you, my man has been going hard, nigga. Like, it's crazy. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing disrespectful, but I'm just say this then. If LeBron James, boy, if LeBron James was to ask that man, could he, could Shannon Sharp, I don't know, man, be his surrogate father? I think he'd take on that responsibility, man. Like the man is obsessed with LeBron James, man. So go ahead, Keem. I really want you to go ahead and dig in on this bullshit because after you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and give my perspective. I'm gonna try my hardest tonight to not sound like a hater like I normally do, and I'm gonna try to give it from both perspectives. I mean, I'm a LeBron James hater. For those who don't know, those who've been watching my videos, watching me on social media, I'm a LeBron James hater. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't give a fuck. I wear the shit on my sleeves. Like, I'm gonna be that guy. Till he end his career, I'm gonna be the critic that's going to critique his game and going to critique certain aspects about what he does on the basketball court. Because as much as you have niggas that's around my circle that's going to give him the props, I'm going to be the guy that's going to be there, that's going to be objective about a lot of shit. So go ahead, King. You got it, but the floor is yours, man.
So after watching the game last night, I gotta be objective. I gotta say what I saw. So it hurts for me to have to do this because I'm such a fan. But I gotta speak honestly of what I've been seeing in the series and what I've been, what I've been seeing overall, right? So game 1 and game 2, LeBron comes out strong. You know what I mean? And he's aggressive. He's going to the basket. And we know how those games were. They just didn't have enough firepower. Kyrie wasn't getting involved. Love was playing well, but JR wasn't involved. They didn't have enough firepower. They got blown off the floor. Really wasn't nothing they could do about it. No matter what kind of game LeBron had, in my opinion, nothing they could do about it. But last night, they have again, LeBron comes out strong. I think in the first half or the first quarter or something like that, he had 22 out of and the rest of the team had 21 points. He's getting to the well. I think he was 9 of 10 from the field. He was 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. He was shooting, 90 goddamn percent in the first half. He was unstoppable. He had about 5 or 6 rebounds on his way to another triple-double. And then the second half comes, and this is what he's been doing consistently in this series, and I've noticed over the past couple of years, I feel like he might be losing a step. Whereas it might be either his nature where he wants to get everyone else involved, but in his process of getting everyone else involved, he takes himself out of rhythm. So he starts passing, gets real passive, and now he's out of rhythm. He don't have it no more. So now he can't just turn the switch back on when it gets to that clutch situation, 2-3 minutes left in the game, and you need that one bucket. He don't have it no more because he done turned the switch off now to try to get others involved. Now, I don't think it's all the way that, and this is where I'm going to be objective at. I think LeBron, I'm not going to say he shies away from clutch moments because we've seen him have clutch moments, right? But I think LeBron.
Three times in his whole career.
Yeah, he's had a few clutch moments. He had a clutch moments on defense as well. I don't want to just say all offensive clutch moments, but yeah, he's had a few clutch moments where he's came up big, especially early in his career where he was the only guy and was nobody, nobody to do anything. I mean, especially that Detroit series, that Magic series, where he was averaging damn near 40 points a game and carried the team by itself. But to be objective, I think last night he came up small. I think it was 6 minutes left. It was 3 minutes left in the game, 2 to 3 minutes left in the game. They up 6 points. At one point, it was up 8 points. You need 1 or 2 baskets to put the game away. and you come down and you have 3 empty possessions. One possession, he passes it to Korver. The next one possession, he defers to Kyrie Irving. And then the one possession, I think he had a turnover. He goes to the basket, gets a shot block. No, one possession, he backs down with his back to the basket, puts up a fadeaway and misses. So he had 3 empty turnovers where he had an opportunity where it's like the offense got stagnant. They were running the offense perfectly the whole game. Steph Curry's in the game. They put Steph in the pick and roll. They get the switch off where now Steph either has to guard LeBron or Steph has to guard Kyrie, and they go to work. For some reason, in the last 2 minutes, they stopped doing that, and they start playing isolation ball, and LeBron becomes a jump shooter in the fourth quarter. And I don't know why he does this. I don't know why in the fourth quarter he decides to become a jump shooter. And last night I saw it, and I was like, why is he taking jump shots? He had a couple joints where he went to the basket. I know he went to the basket once on Curry, got the layup. Then he went to the basket the one other time, but he shot 2 threes I think he shot 2 or 3 threes for no reason he shouldn't have shot. Again, they stopped doing the pick and roll. He come down, shoot a 3 over with Kevin Durant guard him. I mean, they got away from what they was doing, and either it's fatigue, either he's shying away from the moment, or you know what I'm saying? I think it's a combination of everything. I think last night he said, okay, Kyrie done got involved. I'm gonna try to let Kyrie take it away. And I think he also had got himself out of rhythm, and I think he gasses himself out where he comes out and he said, all right, I'm gonna get mine early. So he comes out, game starts, he gets his early, but he don't have shit for the second half, and he seems like he becomes a jump shooter because he no longer has the energy to get to the basket. That's just, you know what I'm saying? Last night, I was really disappointed as a fan as is, where they had an opportunity. Like, this is a completely different series if they win this game last night. We're having a completely different conversation. The world is having a completely different conversation. This is a completely different series if they get one bucket last night. They just needed one bucket to hold Golden State off. Just one. And they had 3 empty possessions. They push that up to 8. Then Golden State gets desperate, and they throwing up desperate 3-point shots or whatever. But they couldn't get one basket when they needed it. And then now we're talking about a sweep, and it's pretty much over. I mean, it's most likely it's over. I mean, they might get the next game, but I was real disappointed last night. I went to bed angry. I woke up angry. All right, I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. Had to get my daughter ready, take her to school, and it's been a rough day for me. I hadn't even been able to watch any commentary on the game. I haven't watched First Take, haven't watched Undisputed, haven't watched Colin Cowherd, haven't listened to any videos or any commentary on the game because I've been so disappointed in what I saw last night. Because I'm like, you're the best player in the world. You got the highest basketball IQ on the court, and I'm yelling at the TV. Do what you did the whole game. Steph Curry, pick and roll, make him guard you, go to the basket, get fouled. Steph Curry, pick and roll, go to the basket, get fouled. You've been doing that the whole game. Or Zaza Pachulia, get Zaza Pachulia out in open space, go to the hole, get a basket. They was doing that the whole game, pick and roll with Zaza or Steph, getting easy buckets at the basket. Last 2 minutes, had a fucking brain freeze. This Kyrie decides to go one-on-one with Klay Thompson, who's the best defender on their damn team, and puts up a bullshit-ass step-back 3. A bullshit-ass step-back 3. I'm like, what are you doing? And so I had to be objective last night. LeBron, I mean, yes, his teammates missed open shots where he drove to the basket and kicked it out to him. But goddamn it, you just got to turn that bitch over and try to get fouled in this situation. And I honestly, I can't even say, oh, no, they should have hit the shot. No, you should have never passed on the ball. If they did hit the shot, we ain't having this conversation. But because they didn't hit the shot, the onus falls on you because you made that decision, pass the ball, now it's on you. And y'all needed one basket. Y'all needed one basket in the final 2 minutes and couldn't get it. So, honestly, I think that's going to hurt his career. It's going to hurt his legacy. And I think we can't have this conversation no more about the Jordans and all this other stuff no more. We can't, like, honestly, this is coming from me. Unless he does something miraculous with the final years of his career, we can't have this conversation no more. It's Jordan, and then he might be next. If anything, he might be the second greatest basketball player to ever play. But he will never top Jordan after that. What I seen last night, because Jordan in that situation, but it came down and got a bucket, hands down.
This is my whole thing, right? This is my whole thing, and I'm not gonna really go further. I'm not, because I know that's gonna be a whole other discussion that we may can have as far as part two again between LeBron and Michael Jordan thing, and I can maybe do that for some of my followers out there. But it's just the biggest thing. What I noticed, that, like you say, it was 3 minutes to go. They were up by 6, and LeBron James comes down the court, like you say, he passes the ball to Cal Korver, who is known to be one of the best three-point shooters and has one of the best three-point field goal percentage in NBA history. We know that. That's what he can do. But just like Skip Bayless said, Cal Korver has never been known to hit those shots in clutch moments. He's only been known to be an actual perimeter shooter just by being a perimeter shooter. As far as that's his game. Him being in a clutch situation, that's a whole nother situation. That's a whole nother dimension to the ball game. He comes back down the court again, like you say, and he gives the ball. No, he comes down the court again, like you say. Instead of him taking the ball aggressively to the hoop like a goddamn freight train, playing bully basketball, which is what he's most successful in. That's part of his game. Using his physical prowess to manhandle his way into the paint and
his
finish.
Finishing ability. He can finish either hand. He's super strong.
He can finish either hand, left or right.
Just get to the basket, man.
To the basket. You decide to stop with Iggy. Iggy did something I feel like was very unappreciated last night, because even when I was listening to them on Undisputed discuss it, he did was Iggy. If Iggy would have been 3 feet tighter to LeBron, I think LeBron Mayhew would have took it to the basket. It was the fact that when Iggy came down the court, Iggy gave LeBron so much space, he mentally challenged him to come halfway into the mid-range parameters, back in, and then shoot the fade. It's almost like he dared him psychologically to make that shot. Even though LeBron James should have been more mentally he should have been more mentally prepared for not falling into that trap. He did it anyway. Then the third time was like you say, whether he was gassed or whether he just did not want to actually deal with that in them seconds. He passes the ball to Kyrie, who does a step back 3-pointer, which I felt like with the time they had was completely unfucking necessary, because they had 12 seconds. But like they say, Kyrie is very familiar with their court. He's hit that shot before, and that's one of his shots. He hit that shot last year in Game 7 in that area. So that was one of his sweet spots from a three-pointer standpoint, from a three-pointer shooting standpoint. Now, this is my only thing when it comes to LeBron James, and what I feel like in situations like that, I felt like last night when I was watching the game, I was watching something that was so remnant of the.
You went out of focus. Have your straighten your camera out. You went out of focus for a second.
I'm good now?
Yeah, you good now.
All right. This is my only thing is that, and this is what what I seen last night from LeBron James, is that the nigga actually did what the fuck he did back in 2011 in them last couple of minutes. You could just see the passiveness, or for whatever reason may be the case, the physical fatigueness set in to where he just did not want that big moment. He didn't want it. And when we talk, and this is my own, and like I said, I'm not going to go into it tonight with the Jordan situation, but when we talk about Jordan, I don't give a. This is why I say that this series, if LeBron would have won it, it would not dictate or been a deciding factor for as far as the GOAT discussion, because for one, I agree with Skip Bayless. I don't think this Golden State team is better than the 96 Bulls. I just don't.
Whoa. That's another conversation. I'm gonna let you finish that point, but we're gonna
I
get
don't.
back to that.
Hold on, because I can go into that a little bit detail wise. And I don't think so because I just don't feel like they don't have the mental toughness that Bulls team had in certain situations. Now, and I feel like that Bulls team, they had 3 fucking defenders on that team that were all pro defenders. Like, these were people that could match up with the people that Golden State have on their team right now. I mean, and even I'm not the only person to say this. You have Chris Broussard who said the same goddamn thing. So you have to break this thing down. I think a lot of times, Keem, when we talk about basketball, we speak relatively about the generation that we're experiencing now. But we don't recant, nor do we look back on the past of the people that paved the way before us. Like, that's why I can't just say LeBron surpasses and jumps Magic Johnson. Because I just see there's certain things about Magic that's so LeBron is more comparable to Magic than he is Michael Jordan from a skill set standpoint.
Let me jump in there.
Hold on, let me finish. So those two should be more comparison than Jordan. Now, I'm gonna let you go in. But what I was saying as far as about Jordan is that Jordan dictates and controls the pace of the game.
Right.
LeBron James, he does not do that. He's never done that in his career. He has done it in certain situations. I've seen him do it in the 2011 or 2012 playoffs versus the Boston Celtics. He did it in a couple of them games in that round where he completely just dictated that game they had versus Boston where he scored 45 points. I don't know if you remember. It was one of his first years when he was with the Heat. He literally obliterated them niggas in game 6. This was before the end of their big 3. This was like that last run that they had in Boston. He obliterated them niggas. He had 45. He controlled the pace of the game that game. And when he beat my Pistons back in 2007, he can dictate it and control the pace. But it was easier then though, King, because the Pistons, we were a half-court team. So a lot of the way that he was able to speed or dictate the pace of the game, he was younger, he was fresher, so he was able to do that when we wasn't running at that point in time. This is my thing with LeBron. Dog, if you're the most intelligent and the best fucking player in the world, you have to understand you cannot get into a scoring frenzy with the Golden State Warriors, nor can you get into this fast-paced, up-tempo basketball game. You have to understand what kind of team you have, and you have to control the motherfucking pace and dictate how the game is played, which is what they did a great job in last year. These are essential things that should come into your mind. What's up?
Tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Moon.
Yo, I swear I can go from one of them shits right now. That's my new shit right there. For those that don't know, that Belgian Blue Moon, that shit is dead ready, bro. And if you cut an orange slice, put that shit in there.
Who put you on? Who put you on?
This nigga came for me, y'all. So I gotta give credit where credit due. This nigga came for me, y'all. So yo, and real shit, I even got my dad drinking that shit now, dog. Like, he love that.
This is beautiful, especially with that orange slice in them deal. These things,
oh my
God. That's the only beer I can drink like this, dog. The only beer I can go through a case of these, no problem. Like, yo, I gotta stay away from these joints.
Them shits is chill, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love them shits. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I can drink them shits anytime.
Yep.
But go ahead, man. Like I said, man. I mean, that's what I seen. He shies away from the big moment, and he has problems dictating and controlling consistently, controlling the pace of the game. Like, you have to understand what's going on in the game, dog. Like,
yeah. I feel like I think LeBron getting in his own head. You know how you can just be too whatever for your own good. Like, I think he wants to be a certain player, but his talent doesn't dictate that, if that makes sense. Like, I think he wants to be a facilitator, right? Where he wants to be the Magic Johnson and the facilitator, and he wants to get everybody involved because LeBron is an extremely humble dude. That's another thing he doesn't get credit for either. He's a very humble dude. Like to be the great, like Jordan wasn't humble at all. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron's an extremely humble dude and a real good human.
Extremely humble, right? That's what you said.
Yeah. And he's a real good human being. You know what I'm saying? That's just from my opinion. I think he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna say he's not. I ain't gonna say he's not a good human being. I would never question that because I look at the work that the brother's putting in off the court and what he's doing. I mean, this brother's been in the league for 14 years and his motherfucking record is squeaky clean. He's never had any confrontation off outside of basketball. He's been nothing but an upstanding citizen, an upstanding father, an
And husband.
upstanding husband. I mean, he's everything that you could ask for in a great athlete on all and is so respected by so many people. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying?
And he's done something that nobody else did. And now people just starting to get hip to it. He took all his homies. He said, "No, I'm not just going to cut you a check. I'm not just going to do that and you're just going to be my entourage. No, I'm not going to do that." He took all his homies. He put them through school, educated them in certain things that they could use to now be a part of his career. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like his homies, he sent them to school. You're gonna go to school, you're gonna learn this, you're gonna learn this, and when you get out of school, you're gonna be my agent, you're gonna manage this, you're gonna be my accountant, you're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just say, "Oh yeah, we just gonna be my entourage and I'm gonna cut y'all a check." No, I'm gonna set you up so you also had your own career and you could be able. So he brought all his homies with him, but he did it the right way. And I think he's the first dude to do that, where he didn't say, "No." He invested in his friends' futures, and then now they invest, and now they work for him. You see what I'm saying? He said, "Look, I'm gonna put this investment in you, but then when you done, you're gonna come work for me, and we're gonna get all this money together." And I think that's a beautiful thing that he don't get credit for that either. But I mean, but that's outside of basketball. We already know we could talk about him outside of basketball. I don't really have anything negative to say about him outside of basketball. But on the court, I think he tries to be too much of a facilitator. His talent dictates that you are better than that. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like at times he tries to be, okay, I'm gonna take over the game, and then he wants to go back to being a facilitator. No, you gotta be. Your talent dictates that you should be the best player in the world. That's what your talent dictates as. You can't shy away like they say in like superhero movies. With great power comes great responsibility. You cannot shy away now from who you are because you choose not to accept it. You see what I'm saying? This is who you are.
Yeah.
You were born with these God-given gifts. You were born with this talent. You developed this talent. Now you have to do it. Now, when you turn 35, 36, and you ain't got it no more, you can just be LeBron James to facilitate it. But right now, you are still the best player in the world. You have to be what you were meant to be. And I feel like he shies away from that. He's like, okay, I got this dude, Kyrie. He getting that. And it's a beautiful thing to watch Kyrie go to work. Don't get me wrong, because Kyrie handles is amazing. His finishing ability is like sometimes I be like, Brian, pass it to Kyrie, because I want to see Kyrie go to work. Because he is a beautiful thing when Kyrie get going.
Yeah,
when he get going, man, it's crazy.
that,
You know what I'm saying?
That motherfucker traveled about 2 or 3 times last night too. Why niggas was giving Steph such a hard time about that double dribble. They should have been pointing out them travels. My nigga was walking to the moon last night, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, he traveled a couple times.
I ain't gonna lie. That does not negate the fact that the way he was finishing at the hole last night was fucking
But
crazy.
I never seen people get away. I've seen people get away with traveling. Niggas been getting away with traveling for years. They always give you an extra step. But Steph been getting away with carrying and doubling on some crazy ish where like he literally touching the ball with both hands for his ump fake. So he ump faking, touching the ball with both hands. Look, you think he about to shoot and then he pull it down and keep dribbling. That like they gotta do something about that. He can't be doing all this. I mean, one, he already the most deadliest three-point shooter in NBA history. And now you getting away with carrying like this? How am I supposed to guard you? How am I supposed to guard you before you about to shoot a three? It's no way now. There's no way I can guard you if you're doing this too. And you're the most deadliest three-point shooter in the league. There's no way. There's no way I can guard you. So, I also want to get on that point you said about the 96 Bulls. the game. Would you agree that the game has evolved from what it was before?
Yeah, I said that.
The game has evolved, so it's a better style of basketball being played on the court right now than it was being played in 1996. It's a better.
I disagree.
This is where I'm gonna tell you why it's better. Okay, you have big men now with more of a skill set than they had back in the day. 7-footers couldn't shoot 3-pointers in '96. Now they can shoot 3-pointers.
It depends on.
And they can carry the ball. They can bring the ball to the court. They can shoot with both hands. They can finish at the rim. There's no more need for a 7-footer that can put his back to the basket. The Golden State Warriors would spread the 96 Bulls out, and they would rain threes down their motherfucking face. That's what they would do. It's a different era. They couldn't play with them in this era. It's the same shit I say with crossovers. You couldn't take Magic Johnson and put him on the court with AI. He would make them all look stupid because it's a different era. They hadn't seen people play like that. You see what I'm saying? The game is evolving. Just like you can't take football players from today and put them in. If you took Jack Lambert, who was 205 pounds, and put him from the Pittsburgh Steelers and put him in the NFL today, he wouldn't start for no team. He probably wouldn't even play. He probably wouldn't even be in the league because the game is evolving. The players are bigger, faster, stronger, and they're better. They're just better players. They're just better basketball players. And that's why we're talking about the nostalgia. Like, people hold on to the nostalgia of the game, and they yearn for these eras, not even realizing that the game is better. These players are better. They didn't have a Euro step in '96. They didn't have that. Like, James Harden would kill niggas. Ginobili would kill niggas. They didn't have a Euro step. Let's be serious. Like, the game is evolving. It's evolving. It's not getting people they hold on to these eras no. Even with the hand check, Golden State Warriors will spread these dudes out around the floor. They would have fucking Rodman out there in open space, not knowing what he's doing, probably getting twirled in circles, and they would rain threes all over these dudes. Jordan would be the only one out there getting buckets. Jordan can get buckets in any era because Jordan just like Kobe. Kobe can get buckets in any era. Duncan can get buckets in any era. Certain players can get buckets in any era. But as a team, no, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Nah. I think, Keem, what I said, and hear me out. I think you're just infatuated with sheer athleticism that overtakes the actual game. You have to go back. Let me finish. You have to go back, bro.
This is skill sets. Like, you think
there is no skill.
Hold on. And I think this is actual skill. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not just.
It's not skill. It's not. Listen. It's not. Hear me out. It's not skill. When I'm looking at basketball and these kids that's coming out into the league, they can't play defense, Keem. As you can see last night, you know and I know that if you put these dudes back into the era, back in those times, dog, they wouldn't last. Like Jordan would score 60 fucking points a game in this because what he went through in the 80s and 90s, how Magic, Bird, and the fucking Pistons, how they made him, how they made Jordan who he was, dog. Because he had to experience a certain level of physicality by going in the paint and getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? That's when niggas came out with the Jordan rule. They took away certain aspects to cater to the game. If you put these cats back into this era where you had the fundamentals of basketball in the 90s and 80s.
The only thing that's different is hand checking. It's hand checking. That's the only thing that's different. No. The fundamentals. I don't give a damn what you say about no fundamentals. Ain't no 7-footer out there from the day guarding Kevin Durant. There's nobody guarding Kevin Durant from 20 years ago.
But they wouldn't. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. They would have had Scottie Pippen guarding Kevin Durant. Scottie Pippen is an NBA top 50 player. Scottie Pippen is pound for pound, top 5, if not arguably one of the best perimeter defensive guys that ever played in the fucking NBA. They would have had Ron Harper. Ron Harper would have been guarding Steph Curry or either Klay Thompson.
And would have got lit the fuck up.
No, Ron Harper was a defensive specialist on guards. That's what he did. He was 6'5", 6'6", and could move his. and can move his feet like no other at that time.
He was
Jordan was
6'7".
an all-pro defensive person. If you look at these cats nowadays, Keem, they don't shuffle their feet in defense. They don't move their hands. Everything now is predicated based off of a pick and roll. They can't get separation. Even when they do get separation, it's a mismatch because these guys don't even know. Only thing they can do as far as playing fundamentals is going straight up when the person is attacking the paint. There's certain things, dog.
Okay, but is that their fault, or is it the game fault for evolving to the point where they? All right, let's be honest. Defense is not a fundamental point of sports anymore, even in football. Fans don't care about.
That's
defense.
The problem. That's the problem.
But offensively, the game has regressed. So I will agree with you. Defensively, the game has regressed. You can't play defense the way you could play defense before. It took away hand checking,
So
but they added the zone. So I agree with you. The players from this era don't play defense the same. But I don't think it would be hard for them to make that adjustment defensively. So I think if you put them in the era and they say, okay, you can be physical now when you can't be physical. I think it's easier to make the adjustment to becoming physical than it is to learn a whole new skill set. Though players from that era offensively don't have the same skill sets that the players from this era have offensively. So I think it would be an easier transition from players from this era to get used to that style of defense than it would be the players from that old era to get used to this style of offense.
What do you define as they don't have the skill set offensively? I mean, you got to understand. You got to understand.
Here. Just go put some film on of the 1980s. But look at some film of the Celtics versus the Lakers in the 80s. Just look at the films. I see classic NBA films all the time, and I'm looking at the shit. Honestly, I don't see what these people be so nostalgic about. The game looks boring. And I'm not even like, oh, I'm not from that area. I wasn't born back then, so I'm biased. I wasn't around back then to watch it. But I'm looking at the game, and I'm like, I see the basic fundamentals, right? They have all the fundamentals, the bank shot, the dribbling, the pick and rolls, they're running the plays, the screens, all that. They got the fundamentals. They're good basketball players, right? But certain players could only go right, couldn't finish with the left hand. Big men you had certain players on the floor that were pointless on the floor. The only thing they did was play defense. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of the skill sets that players today now learn all the positions all the way up. You have players that can play 4 or 5 positions on the court. You didn't have that back then. You didn't have, besides Magic Johnson, you didn't have players that could play 4 or 5 positions on the court. Kevin Durant can play 1 through 4. LeBron can play 1 through 4. You see, like you have players that can play several positions. Klay Thompson can guard 1 to 3. You didn't have all that in the 80s. You see what I'm saying? Like these players have skill sets. Anthony Davis, who can take the ball up the court, rebound, shoot, dribble. Karl Anthony Towns can shoot threes. Joel Embiid, like these skill set that these players are coming out with now, they didn't have that in the 80s. They didn't have. Players from this era, they would have to get used to the physicality and the hard fouls and the hand checking. But once they get used to that, they have a much better skill set than everybody else from that era. The way they handle the ball.
Most of these kids in this era right here, they can't even create their own fucking shots, man. Like they literally need their own
shots. Who can't create their own shot? Who?
You have about a handful of certain players that can create their own shots. Most of the time, they have to have set plays for them to get open in order for them to make their shot. You got special players.
And it's the same thing in the left. Could John Stockton create his own shot?
John Stockton was a traditional point guard, which means that John Stockton.
He's on Mount Rushmore of point guards. Could he create his own shot? Could Isaiah Thomas create his own shot?
Oh, hell yeah. Isaiah Thomas can create his own shot. Most definitely. So, go back and look at the tape. That's what he did.
I'm disagreeing with you. I'm just asking you a question. Not disagreeing. I'm just asking you a question.
What I'm saying is Isaiah Thomas can create his own shot.
Billups?
What about him?
Did he create his own shot?
Chauncey could create his motherfucking own shot. Go look at the tape. That's why he was a big shot. He was.
So name me a point guard today that can't create his own shot.
A point guard that can't create their own shot?
today.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me think about this situation. Ricky Rubio can't create his own shot. He can't.
Ricky Rubio. That's like me saying Ryan Harper. He can't create his own shot either.
Patrick Beverly can't create his own shot.
He's not an offensive player. That's really James Harden. But go ahead. I agree.
I mean, I can still keep naming them. I mean, who else? Point guard that's is in the league that really can't create their own shot.
Can Mark Jackson create his own shot?
Hell yeah.
Nah.
Hell yeah, Mark.
Nah.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could. Mark Jackson could create his own shot, but Mark Jackson had a lot of traditional point guard intangibles in him as well. He had a lot of people that was around him that he had to get involved in the game. See, these guys play their role, man. That's the thing. In this NBA, it's so freelance. Niggas don't have their role in the basketball court, dog.
Okay. Here's another thing. Okay. They're not
even running plays half the time. Most of this shit is street ball, my nigga. Like it's not real basketball. It's not real basketball.
It's pick and roll and baseline screens. They run baseline screens to get the shooters open, and then they run isolation pick and roll.
That's not basketball. That's not basketball. That shit you going in the that shit you going in the field house at George Mason University playing pickup, and you're just running those two things with a bunch of niggas that you never played with before, but it's a pickup game. That's not basketball.
In every basketball play, what is involved in every basketball play that is ran? What action is in basketball? You have actions. What action is involved in every play that is ever ran? A screen. A screen.
The screen, yes.
A screen or a pick is involved in every single basketball play. There's always a screen. You might have an action over here that's a distraction while there's a backcourt screen going on to get somebody open. You see what I'm saying? A screen is involved in every basketball play. And what's the oldest play in basketball? The very first play in basketball. What do you think that is?
The very first play in basketball. What you trying to say? The pick and roll?
The pick and motherfucking roll. So why so you want to talk about fundamentals? That's fundamentals to the fucking core. That's the oldest play in basketball is the pick and roll. It's the first and oldest play in basketball. They don't get more fundamental than the first play.
But King, I don't look at that as
I'm trying to do a bunch of other shit when pick and roll still works. The Spurs are the king of pick and roll basketball. If you want to talk about the blueprint, they pick and rolled everybody to death, which is why everybody run that shit now. They said shit. The Spurs been doing this shit. They won 5 championships running fucking pick and roll. Tony Parker and Ginobili, pick and roll. Tim Duncan, pick and roll. All day, pick and pop. They won 5 champions. The Spurs, the most fundamental team in basketball today.
Oh, I know that. And that's why I enjoy it. But that's why I enjoy watching the Spurs. Because when I watch them, I'm watching true traditional basketball.
You watching pick and roll. You watching pick and roll.
But it's not just pick and roll, though, Keem. It's not just pick and roll, Keem.
Pick and roll and a pink shot. Pick and roll off the glass. So it's a difference because the shot goes off the glass rather than go directly into
No, when you see the Spurs, and don't get it twisted, the Golden State Warriors have a lot of that in them too. They display a lot of that in them. But the majority, when I say the majority of the league, they're not doing that in basketball. Majority of these cats is getting drafted, Keem. They're literally not ready. Their skill sets is not ready to equate to the motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. They raw athletes. But it takes them so much.
But they better athletes.
It depends on how you define that. As you can say, when you look at the 80s and 90s, these guys had personal responsibilities in the league. It wasn't that they couldn't do certain things. It's just that what they were good at, they were asked to do that specifically. It's not, and they didn't get outside those confinements because you know why? It was all about winning and building on a motherfucking championship, and everybody had to buy into their role for that particular objective. Nowadays, niggas is just hopping on motherfucking super teams, don't know their role, and doing whatever just to win championships, dog. Like that shit is crazy.
Okay, this is my last point, and then let's get to Kevin Durant because I want to talk about this dude too. This is the last point I want to make, right? About the about what we just was saying. Shit. What was I just saying? What was I about to say? You just fucking lost it. Just fucking lost it. Oh, okay. So we was talking about the fundamentals of basketball, right?
Yeah.
And so you was so this is what I'm saying, which is a little different. The fuck, I can't fucking remember exactly what I was about to say. Fuck, keep going. Fuck, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Talk about Kevin Durant.
Man, listen. This is what I say about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a prime example of how the NBA has transitioned into the fact that it lacks integrity. What Kevin Durant is doing, and this is what I've been trying to explain to cats that's been justifying this bullshit that he just did by jumping to the Golden State Warriors, is that Kevin Durant, he's so thirsty to justify his personal legacy, to chase a ring, is that he's willing to compromise not only his personal integrity, but also the integrity of sports and the integrity of the NBA just to join your arch nemesis to get a ring. This is not the way that you play sports. You don't teach your child this shit, dog, when you growing up and teaching him how to play sports. If Isaiah is losing in
high school, let's go transfer over there. Fuck no.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that, dog? Like, and people are looking at it like, well, I mean, he was a free agent, and he can make his own decision. I mean, nothing wrong with what that man did. No, you don't do that. You don't do that, man. And this is the problem. This is the problem. This is what the NBA has transitioned into.
Here's LeBron
James did that shit. He started that shit, dog.
No. He did not start that shit, and we'll talk about that. He did not start that shit. But here's another thing that I want to say about KD too, right? The KD, and I gotta shout out my boy Andrew, my young mob. He sent this to me right before the show started. He wanted me to mention this point. KD never beat LeBron, ever. And then he never beat LeBron in the playoffs or in the finals. And then you want to go and join the Golden State Warriors and act like you doing something. He getting 5-10 minutes of rest a night, coming off the bench, fresh as a motherfucker. You got two of the greatest three-point shooters in NBA history, one of the best defensive players, and the greatest shooter in NBA history on your team that takes all the pressure off you. You can come in and shoot whenever you want or defer to anybody else. You're getting easy buckets because dudes got to stick like glue to Clay and fucking Steph, and you acting like you better than LeBron. Get the fuck out of here. And everybody wants to want to crown him now better than LeBron after he just jumped ship to the greatest team basketball ever seen that won 73-9. But now he better than LeBron because he joined that team. Now, if he would have did this and stayed there with Russ, then I would say, yeah, he might be better than LeBron. But the motherfucker jumped ship to a team that went 73-9 the year before. The only player they lost was motherfucking Andrew Bogut and Harrison Barnes. You replace Harrison Barnes with fucking with Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Right? And you like, if anything, we should have been expecting this. The fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers was even in it last night is an anomaly because nobody should be in the game with these motherfuckers. The team went 73-9 last year. They haven't lost a game since March. They've been 25-1 since fucking March. Like, are you serious? Like, come on, let's be serious now. This team is loaded. It's a fantasy team. It's like you can take all these players and put them on your fantasy roster. You probably want fantasy. It's a fantasy team. That shit is crazy. And so we're talking about this, and you want to penalize LeBron for having to go against his team. When I feel like the biggest joke in all this is KD. Now, if you wanted to leave, you didn't want to deal with Russ no more. That's cool. You had plenty of other options you could have did. You could have did a 1-year deal up in there to see it, try it out one more time. But you don't go to that team that you had a chance to beat. You was up 3-1 and let them come back on your ass and beat you, and then you go join them. Who does that? Who does that?
I've never seen no bullshit like that before in my life.
Here's a funny question: what if they would have beat him and would have won on and played LeBron in the finals? Would he would have left and still went to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you only went to him probably because you lost to him, which makes it even worse. It makes it even worse. So it's like, well, can't beat him. Might as well join him. What kind of shit is that? Like, what kind of gay shit is that? Like literally, like if you would have this is probably a fact, and we will never know. But if he would have beat Golden State last year, 9 times out of 10 he stays in Oklahoma. But because he didn't beat him, he goes joins them. What kind of shit is that? like literally, what kind of fucking okie doke bullshit is that? And that shit's amazing. It's crazy to me. It's an absolute joke.
And they said,
KD balling. Motherfucker had all those dunks and shit because niggas is stuck like glue on it. Klay Thompson. They scared to come off and pill to come to him because they know he's gonna dish it out for the 3. So they're like, fuck it, I might as well take the 2, then the 3. That's why he getting all these easy ass looks. It ain't because he all of a sudden good now. Motherfucker, you getting easy looks because you got fucking 2 Hall of Famers on your team. The fuck is that? Like, come on.
That's crazy.
That's fucking nuts.
It's crazy. I've never seen anything like that before, and like honestly, it bends the integrity of the game. I would never teach my child anything like that, dog. I would never.
You know what? And I heard rumors that PG-13 might go to Cleveland next year, and I hope it happens.
That's what I've been. That's what I've been hearing too. But I honestly believe that.
I hope it happens. I hope the league just gets so fucked up and crazy that they gotta start all over. They gotta do a fantasy draft and redraft all the players. I hope it gets so fucked up because the shit right now is stupid. Because they let that shit happen, I swear I hope Paul George go to Cleveland next year and we just had 2 fucking fantasy teams. We can just fast forward to the finals. We didn't even gotta watch this fucking season next year.
I would never watch anything in the season. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's disappointing, man, because it's like basketball
next year though, because we about to be there.
Basketball was my first love, man, and it's kind of like to see what it has transitioned into right now, especially this type of dick hopping. It's like I don't even know what to even say anymore. It's like I don't even look forward to the playoffs. Like, I really didn't watch any of the playoffs because I already knew who the fuck was going to be in the finals.
I wanted to get to hear. Last night was the best game of the series. Even though Cleveland lost and I was upset about it, I hope I get a game like that. Was Sunday? They play again Sunday?
Friday.
I hope I get a game like that tomorrow. Yep. Because honestly, that was the best game of the series. At least let the last game be close to. Well, you know what I'm saying? Hope Cleveland don't lose. We get one more game out of this. But I mean, last night was a good. It should be like that all series. That was the best. You know what I'm saying? I actually wish the league was fixed so we can get some more games out of this shit. They can start fixing some of these games. But I don't even at this point. The parity in the league is terrible. It's terrible, and the fact that they allow. Oh, another point I wanted to make when you were talking about evolution of the game, right? It just came back.
Yeah.
Who you think is responsible though for the reason that the game is the way it is now? Because if they could have kept it the same where players just had roles, they would have kept it that way. But because the league has evolved and now, like, you see those teams that play traditional basketball don't win no games no more because you can't compete on the floor with teams like Golden State. Because they'll have 4 smalls out there and they'll shoot you off the court.
No, that's not true. The Spurs won 61 games, man. They was actually only like 3 or 4 games away from the Warriors. And not to mention, they was whooping the motherfucking Warriors ass 78-55 till Kawhi Leonard got hurt, bro.
Yeah.
And if I think if Kawhi wouldn't have got hurt, they would have won game 1, bro. They would have won game 1. And I think the series would have went different. I really do. I believe it.
I agree too. I agree with that. And they're an exception to the rule. The Spurs is just like they're like Belichick in the Patriots. They're like they got the cheat code. I don't know what it is that he do over there, but they're exception to all of the rules and facts.
No, man, it's just that he's a great coach and they have a great fundamentally system that they buy into. They buy into the system. And honestly, this goes back to the discussion that me and you had about a month ago when we talked about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard fully understands his role, but Greg Popovich is actually molding him to become more of that guy, the face of the organization, which I think he really is now. But it's never been about one person is bigger than the team. Even when Duncan was there, it's always been about the actual team and the goal of the team. And that's what just makes the organization that much more special than the other ones. I mean, you got good coaches out there around the leagues, but they just can't equate. They can't equal up to the motherfucking Golden State Warriors, man. I mean to the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, as far as keeping everything in place, don't make it. I mean, who was this dude Simmons? This nigga came out of nowhere, bro. I mean, it was beasting.
Yeah, he was beasting. They got him from the D League, right?
So, yeah, listen, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. The fucking San Antonio Spurs are the New England Patriots of basketball, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I've been saying this shit for years. Like, when I think of the Spurs, I think of the Patriots. When I think of the Patriots, I think of the Spurs because they both do the same, some of the similar same thing.
Yeah, the way they run that ship over there, yep.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. But what was I about to say, man? The next thing we want to probably end up transitioning to is talking about the and this coincides to what we were talking about LeBron James. And we could just use him as a model. It's like pretty much are these athletes that we're talking about, are they doing enough for their respective communities? And we have some ones that I really feel like are very, very huge as far as a huge involvement when it comes to the community, whether they're doing community action oriented work, and whether they're actually they're donating money, whether they're doing a certain level of philanthropy or a certain level of humanitarian work for the community globally, or within they're actually putting in work, man. And a high percentage of their money is going back towards building and structure, building a structure a society or making an impact on society. Most of the kids. But a lot of these niggas, dog, I swear to God, dog, you never see these cats do shit. Now, granted, maybe what everybody does pretty much is doesn't get a whole lot of media notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Because it really ain't supposed to be glorified, what you do. So they could be doing something for their family. But we're not talking about intermediate families. Of course, if you a fucking millionaire, you're going to take care of your intermediate family. We're talking about the people that's in the community, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of them are, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I take for example, I've been following Floyd Mayweather as a boxer for going on over 10 years now. I guess when I really became more involved in boxing as I got older. I can't really recall Floyd Mayweather ever doing shit for the community as far as philanthropy or humanitarian work. I don't know about any. I mean, but all I do is see that nigga cooning around, flashing money, you know, and just talking crazy shit. But as far as the work goes, can you use him as an example? I've never heard any success stories, anything that he's actually did. I mean, do you know anything?
He from Detroit, right? And I ain't heard nothing about him having anything to do with Flint or
nothing
or anything like that. Donating some water bottle, nothing. I haven't heard anything about anything in Michigan. None of that. I know he do a lot of shit in Vegas, but I know it's not like philanthropy work. It's just as far as business. Why he got a lot of different businesses.
Yeah, it's just business.
Yeah.
But I mean, but this is my thing. This is my thing. What the fuck is business if you're not devoting your business towards building your people? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what defines a legacy. This is what you got people like Muhammad Ali and other people like that they have true history as far as improving conditions and legacies when it comes to building and improving conditions of our people. This nigga has not done stuff like that. And I can use him as the poster boy because, motherfucker, you pound for pound the richest athlete in the world.
Yeah. And other thing, too, I also think it goes to what you want to be remembered as. I don't think he even, you know what I'm saying? We say it all the time, if you knew better, you would do better. I don't even think
you would do better.
I don't even think for one, he's not very educated. I don't know if he even has a high school diploma. So he's not very educated. We already know he can't read that well. So, I mean, if you can't read, then you're not reading books. Now, as far as like business sense, street, you know what I'm saying, streetwide, you know what I'm saying, stuff, he has common sense in that aspect. But as far as to know what he's supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying, I don't think he has anybody that's talking to him or telling him, you know, you should do this thing or you should do that or you should do this. And I'm gonna say this when it comes to athletes' responsibility, and then I want to also jump into something else. I think as far as our black athletes in general have a responsibility to their communities that support them. And I feel like the only way to hold them, the only way to make this happen is for us as a community to hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable.
So you got to stop supporting athletes that don't support the community in which they come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Kevin Durant's from DC. I don't really pay attention to a lot, but I don't know if he does anything for DC. I don't know if he's, I don't even think he likes even coming back here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's done anything for this area. I don't think he holds any basketball camps. I don't think he's seen at any of the schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of athletes do what's required of them by their organization. So the organization requires them to go to certain charity events. You know what I'm saying? Or the agents might set them up for doing certain stuff. But not many of them go above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that is also, a lot of these guys is just young. And when you're young, you're selfish. And you don't really think about doing shit like that. But I feel like if the communities or the people hold them responsible, then things like that would change. Ultimately, though, like I was telling you before we even went live, I think the responsibility is in the hands of the owners. And I think the owners who make the billions, and we were saying this before, like, if I could afford to pay LeBron James $30 million a year and have a $100 million contract, and somebody this year about to get a $200 million, a $200 million contract, if I can afford to pay you that amount of money, then how much money am I making? I'm making billions if I can afford to pay you $200 million. You see what I'm saying? So we don't hold the NBA, the NFL, and these organizations accountable, right? And I think a lot of that starts with education. I don't think we educate our athletes correctly. I don't think we have I don't say we. I don't think our athletes are educated correctly about building for their people. I don't think those things are instilled in them. A lot of athletes come from single parent homes. A lot of athletes just don't have that my people thing instilled in them. My people means the immediate people around me. It doesn't mean black people. It doesn't mean my community. You know what I'm saying? And people, we are educated to think, let's get out the hood instead of let's make the hood better. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to leave the hood. I wanted to make the hood better. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's like people automatically say, let's leave the hood and go where the white people live. How about you make where you live better? Where you grew up, how about you go back to where you grew up, to the block, to the corner? How about you buy up those abandoned houses? How about you renovate those fucking houses? How about you move a single mother into one of these houses? You know what I'm saying? Or a black family into these houses. And how about you make the area better instead of just saying, I'm going to get out of that area? You see what I'm saying? I think that's the problem. Is that we leave these communities and we leave it open for other people to come into our communities and kick us out. You can look at DC. DC, white people then came in, bought up all the abandoned property, renovated it, and now they kicking black people out. You see what I'm saying? And what if we should have came in and we didn't have plenty of that famous people and athletes that came from DC that came back in here to the blocks in which they came from, the neighborhoods in which they came from, bought up that property, and then could have kept it, you know what I'm saying, and made the hood better. But then you leave it on to white people to come in and make the hood better. You see what I'm saying? So I think the mentality needs to change, where we start thinking and taking ownership of things around us. I think we don't have ownership of what's around us. I remember Manuel Scott, Dr. Manuel Scott at Mason. I took one of her classes. Now I remember we was watching the 92 LA riots, right? After Rodney King got his ass whooped by the police and they rioted. Yeah. And I was like, why do we always tear up our own communities, right? Like, why they didn't take that shit up to Beverly Hills and start fucking they shit up? And she explained to me that we don't identify the community as our own because we don't own shit there. No one owns that hardware store or that CVS or that beauty supply store. It's not black owned. Everything in there is foreign. It's owned by someone else. So you're not identifying this as your neighborhood. So part of the problem is that we get out of our communities and we don't want to go back and make it our community. It wasn't never really your community. You just lived there. It's just the community of the people that own shit there. If you don't own your house, if you don't own those stores, if you don't own, you know what I'm saying, these streets, then it's not really your community. You just live there. You see what I'm saying? And that's part of the problem. So we got to start changing the mindset. And I ain't want to get away from athletes' responsibility, but I think it's the mindset of why athletes don't feel they have the responsibility. You see what I'm saying? I feel like it's that mindset is the reason they don't feel that way. Like Floyd Mayweather came from the dumps of Detroit. He don't feel like going even back there because his mind all he remembers is that shit was shitty. He not thinking about, my grandmother owned that house and, John across the street from me owned that store and I want to make it better for them. All he remembers was that shit was shitty. He wants to get as far away from that instead of thinking, let's go back there and let's fix that. You see what I'm saying? I think the mindset needs to be changed. And I don't know where you introduce. I think it starts with mothers and fathers introducing that mindset into our children. But then the mothers and fathers need to know better too. Like, hey, if you ever make it somewhere, if you ever get some, make this community better. Don't just leave here and go do something. Make this better. You know what I mean? Make this area around
And
you.
a lot of them, they leave with the children is because they've been there their whole lives and was never taught any better themselves. So they can't say, okay, son, once you make it big, come back here and build this up. Like, because they don't want to be there themselves. I think what it is also, when we start talking about financial literacy, bro, is that these are things that this is where I actually agree with Dr. Umar Johnson when he was talking about building a school, is that financial literacy needs to be taught at an early age, starting more specifically right when they get out of the age, which is your daughter and my son's age, in that age right there, when they're going from transitioning from 8 or 9 years old to 10 years old. Like, these are things that need to be taught at a young age, and certain components that's going to help you by the time. So when you get to adulthood, this shit is nothing to you. Like, you know what to invest your money in. You know how to utilize your money. You know and understand the power of the dollar. You understand, stocks and bonds and commerce and, you know what I mean, and things that's going to be long-term and short-term investments, not only for your future, but for your children's future that you're going to have. And these are things that we have not learned to grasp and fully understand as a community. So when the motherfucking athletes get out here and they get drafted and they make these big-time bucks, like you say, they can care two shits about what's going on back there and so because they out of that environment. You know what I mean? And I just think, like I said, me personally, I feel like the league should mandate certain things with these athletes, and not just so it seemed like, okay, this is a black and white thing or a racial thing, but it should be done for all ethnicities and demographics that's in the NFL, because by doing that, everybody can say, you know what? I gave my appreciation, or I gave something back to the people financially to help them get out of that situation. Because it's not going to just take one or two motherfuckers. It's going to take a collective whole to change and make this country balanced, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why. Go ahead.
So I want to interject. This has been an idea I've been thinking about, actually writing a book about this at some point, or even some sort of editorial on it. But I've been thinking, you know what I'm saying, formalizing this thought in my mind for a while now, formulating this thought in my mind and getting it together. I honestly think I have a solution for what we could do and how we could take our people out of the state that we in. But first, it would take a collective code, right, of all of us coming together and deciding this is what we're going to do and pushing towards it. And then second, everyone would have to buy in. But I think, right, so our biggest economic base in America is athletics. That's hands down African Americans' biggest economic base in America is athletics and music, right? It's the two biggest things that we make most of our money from. Most of our billionaires and millionaires come from athletics and entertainment, right? It's not from being a doctor or a CEO. It's from athletics or entertainment. That's where most of our money comes from. Look at white people, it's from owning businesses, owning companies. Ours is from athletics and entertainment, right? Now, behind that is, even though we are in athletics and entertainment and we're making millions of dollars from athletics and entertainment, we don't own the platforms which produce the athletics and the entertainment. So we don't own the schools that produce most of the athletes. We don't own the record labels. We don't own the film companies. We don't own the distribution companies that produce all this stuff, right? So I think the first thing, and this is what we would have to start, we would have to do, is we would have to, it literally would only take 4 years. It would take 4 years. You would take the very next graduation class from high school, all the top athletes, because all of them are black for the most part, 95% of them, right? From football and basketball, and they all go to black schools. Instead of going to Alabama, instead of going to LSU, Penn State, USC, no, all you go to black schools. Go to Grambling, Appalachian State, you know what I'm saying? All you go to, Grambling, Howard, Hampton, you know what I'm saying? All the black schools. Send them all to black schools, right? Albany State, all that, right? Then, so now you took all the talent, you took it out of D1 NCAA, and you put it back in the smaller schools, right? What's that going to do is generate massive amounts of money for these institutions. So the reason our black institutions can't compete with the white institutions is because they don't have the money. They don't have the money because of athletics. People will show up and see LeBron James play anywhere. If LeBron James came out of high school and decided he was going to go to Howard gym would be packed every fucking night for people to see LeBron James play at Howard. Didn't matter where he went, people were going to show up to see his ass play. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like it would take 4 classes, just the next 4 graduating classes of high school, the top recruits in football and basketball go to black schools. Money would generate and come in because people are going to come to the schools to see them play. It's going to cost a surplus of money where these schools can now improve their academic programs, expand, you know what I'm saying? It was just the same way all that money you get for going to the Final Four and shit, black schools will get the same shit. They can start moving up the same classes as far as D1s, you see what I'm saying? Now you would have Howard University in the NCAA tournament, Hampton University in the NCAA tournament, going against Duke. And these schools like Duke and all these other schools would no longer be getting the black talent. Because now, honestly, it's black talent that is holding these universities together. They have all this, they don't get all this money from their academics. They don't get it from research. They get it from athletics. They get it from the blood, sweat of black athletes. That's where they get the money from. They generate billions of dollars a year from black athletes. And these plain black athletes go into the pros and generate billions of dollars for these white owners. So then the next step right after that, right? And you take the next 4 graduation classes and you send them to black schools. You don't go to the NFL or NBA. You create your own leagues. Create your own leagues and rent out high school football fields until the money is generated up. Like I said, motherfucker, LeBron James would fill up a high school basketball court with hundreds of thousands of people which don't see him play in the high school court just like they go see him play in the arena. It doesn't matter where he plays at, people are going to show up and see him play. See the best basketball player in the world. Doesn't matter where he play at, they're going to show up and see his ass play. So you're no longer going to play for the owners anymore. Yes, you're going to take a financial hit. Yes, you are. It's not going to make a lot of money right away. But less than 10 years, the platform has changed and you have shifted the power away from the owners into the players. Now, TV stations and all those TV deals that the NBA get, they're going to lose those and they're going to come to you because they're no longer going to have the talent. People no longer going to want to see the NBA players play because the talent's not going to be in the NBA no more. The talent's going to be in whatever new league was started by the black players. You know what I'm saying? So
you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy though? Even though, and I think me and you had a brief conversation about this before. And I think you expressed this similar idea before. The only thing with that situation is though, Keem, I don't think it's so much about selling the families on the situation. It's the fact that Black people, we have the inability to trust each other, to send each other to send our kids to this, or to invest our money, because we've been so conditioned to think that, you know what, Black people ain't shit. I'm not gonna fuck with them because every time I get involved with them, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna lose my money, or somebody gonna get jealous and they gonna backstab me. See, and this is what we have to lose that mindset in order for to work together to create these avenues for our children to actually build that platform and to get to what you envision, to what can happen. The second thing that has to happen too, we don't control no goddamn media. That's the biggest thing. The media is the biggest aspect of athletics and entertainment. If we start learning how that we can become CEOs, presidents, and chairmen of fucking media outlets like Fox, all of these stations, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about what is it called? What is that shit called? WT something shit, that black shit. TV1. You got some of them joints. I'm talking about, like, we need real stations. This, because even TV1 came, they host games like Tuskegee versus Albany State, or Bethune-Cook. They host some MEAC games on TV1, like as far as football goes. I think they do anyway, old basketball tournaments, but they don't host the big primetime games. I don't know if you just seen it most recently. Union just got awarded 2 television games that's going to be on CBS local.
For real?
Yes. Which, in their minds, the president mind of that university, whatever, oh, that's great standards for them because of the ratings, the money that it's going to bring into the university. But this doesn't, like you said, your vision, what you just discussed and broke down, that wouldn't help us. Because once again, we're taking our black schools, going to the white media for exposure of our talent. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so these are avenues that we need to intercept and cross and take advantage of too. Not just.
Now, imagine if the #1 high school recruit went to Union next year. Imagine, I bet you they get an ESPN deal on top of that too. At first, you would still see it would have to be a transition process. You can't just cut off the white function at first. See, at first it would just start with we just going to change the college platform. We're going to change the how that's, you know what I'm saying, how that's formulated.
Yeah.
We're going to restructure that college thing. We ain't even going to let them know that the plan is later down the line to restructure the NFL, NBA, and all the other stuff. We're just going to restructure how we doing college for right now, so we can get some money. You know what I'm saying? And it would take, honestly, it wouldn't even take a whole graduating class. It would just take a couple of recruits. You know what I'm saying? Let one highly touted recruit come out and say, I'm going to go to Hampton. I'm going to go to Howard.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to Norfolk State. It won't even take that many. Just, VCU, Virginia Union. The B-State, Virginia Union. I'm going to go there. Just take one dude, and everybody like, what? He going where? Yeah, I was always raised. Mom and dad went to a black school. I want to go to a black school. I want that experience for 1 year. It would just take, how much media attention and how much stuff would just go to that campus because that one player went there. Imagine if Lonzo Ball, instead of going to UCLA, went to one of those schools. You see what I'm saying? How much media attention would just come, how much money would just flood and influx that school for that 1 year. Allowing that school to, you know what I'm saying? And then that's where the model would start. People will look at that and start seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like, black schools don't even try to recruit these players no more because they don't even think they have a chance. But I feel like if they sold them on that idea, like, you could do this for your people. You're going to the NBA anyway. Everyone knows you're going to the NBA. Everyone knows you're a one and done. It doesn't matter if you play in the NCAA. It doesn't matter. You're going to the NBA next year anyway. So this 1 year, come to an HBCU. Come be with your people. You know what I'm saying? Come do this for your people. 1 year. You know what I'm saying? It just starts selling them on that idea. You know what I'm saying? It's for your people. It would gradually, it would start changing the landscape of shit. Duke is Duke because of black fucking labor. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina is North Carolina because of black labor. Alabama definitely is Alabama because of black fucking labor. Okay?
And that's something else. And that's something else that we need to discuss and talk about too. Motherfuckers like Nick Saban. Nigga make $11 million a year, but yeah, instead he got kids that's on that team, dog. They can't got no money to take home to their family. Barely got money that's other than outside of paying for their school. These kids are broke, but they're making billions and billions of dollars into these athletic programs, man, that's being taken advantage of. Meanwhile, excuse me, Nick Saban, he making $11 million a goddamn year. You see, it's nuts to me, bro. Like, the fact is like the way the system is set up, man. And this goes back to the I forgot who I was talking to, but I'm having a hard time, man. Really just thinking about pro sports in general, bro. These organizations, not just the NFL, man. NBA, all of this shit, because it's kind of like, I was watching the joint today. I forgot his name. I think his name, Keem, is called Dr. Boyce Watkins. You heard of him?
That's my guy. Yeah, Dr. Boyce Watkins, the financial advisor.
Okay.
I watch all. That's my guy. I love that dude. It's one thing that I don't say like about him though. To get his education, you got to pay for it, and I think it's kind of pricey. And you know, we already ain't got financial education. And then you want to make a buck off us too. But I'm not. You got to run a business, so I'm not knocking him. But it's a little
exactly.
But yeah, go ahead. My bad. What was you saying?
Nah, he basically was doing it. He did a video. You got to go watch it. He did a video on this Colin Kaepernick situation, and he was talking about the money that these programs is making, and he talked about the Nick Saban situation and these athletes, and basically we've been exploited, man. Yeah. Being exploited at the pro level, by not only just now it starts in the universities and then it transitions to the NFL. Like, we're being exploited to the point where it's almost like we're actually the modern slaves. We're talking about the athletes, because we're putting our bodies, we're putting our minds on the line, risking it all for these programs or for these organizations. But at the end of the day, we're not.
And honestly, people see the money, right? Because the average human being will never see that amount of money in their life, right? But honestly, it's pennies on the dollar to what these organizations
exactly
are really making. It's pennies. Like I'm saying, it's just imagine if you can afford to pay a player $200 million. What are you making? You see what I'm saying?
What are you making?
What are you making? And what are you getting out of the deal? This is what the organization gets out of the deal. They own the stadium, they own the jerseys. You know what I'm saying? They promote you, the advertise. You know what I'm saying? They own the platform on which you play on. But it's a new age. You see what I'm saying? It's a new era where you could play anywhere. And I don't even think the athletes realize that they have the power. Like, go ahead. If they walk out, they got to pay you more. You don't need them to go play basketball. You don't need them to play football. People will show up and see you play anywhere. I don't think they understand that. If LeBron James said tomorrow I'm going to go play at Anacostia High School, that joint going to sell out in seconds. Niggas will show up to see you play anywhere. Them pro-am games that they be playing where it be like them just bullshit in the summertime.
Yeah.
You see how packed them gyms be? Niggas be standing up, sitting down, or crawling on top of each other. Them joints be packed. Niggas will see you play anywhere. Anywhere.
You talking about them Drew League games and shit?
Like them pro-am, you ever see them pro-am league games where it be like amateur players playing with the pro players, where they'll come like the
the Drew League and the Ruckers,
yeah, the Drew League and shit, exactly. Them Jones be packed. Niggas, like that's a clear indication to you that niggas will see you play anywhere, dog. They don't care. They will come see you play anywhere. You got the power, but it's like that money they get. It's like it's a modern form of sharecropping, but on a much better letter. You're like, man, I get to drive this Lambo. I got this, I got that. But you drive the Lambo, but he own a private plane. You see what I'm saying? He owns stadiums. Like, you getting pennies on the dollar. You don't even realize how much more money he's making. Like, yeah, it's like if you shit, like, it's like, well, shit, I got my own little hut. That one slave, he's sleeping on the dirt. I live in the big house. You don't even realize that, but you don't own the big house, dog. You don't own it. You see what I'm saying? You don't own that shit.
That's what you're saying.
It's crazy. It's like all people see is the money, and they think, oh, that's a lot of money. But it's pennies to what these owners are making. It's pennies. It's nothing to them. If I can afford to pay you $200 million, how much am I worth? How much am I making? But that could be you. All the players could be all that money that they making and exploiting you. All y'all could be splitting that up amongst each other and cut the owner out. It's the new business model. Cut the motherfucking middleman out. You don't need them. They don't need them. Come up with a players union where they split the money between all of them, and y'all find your own or fucking stadiums and shit to play in. You don't need them. Eventually, they're gonna have to sell you the fucking stadiums because they're not gonna be able to afford the mortgage on them joints. So I think it's just the mindset has to change where we gotta stop being happy with just sitting at the table. We gotta stop just being happy with one person making it. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron might see $1 billion in his career because of all the money he made and all the endorsements and stuff. So he'll make it to that next echelon. He might actually one day become an owner. But that's just one player where all of you could be owners.
Yeah, prime example, just like Jay-Z when it comes to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like he's worth $1 billion now. You know what I mean? But it's like we don't just need one Jay-Z at the top of the motherfucking mountain, man. We need a couple of niggas up there that's going to be able to be in a position that's going to is paving the way and is going to show you that this is not just a fluke or you know what I mean. Jay-Z, your Diddy's. You know what I mean? Like you want guys that's going to be in this position to be like, you know what, you could do this, bro. Like it doesn't just starts and ends with me. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that, man. But I think that's something, like I said, man, we definitely need to be very, very cognizant about as a community, man. And we need to actually, like, you know what I'm saying, like, come up with a devised plan like you just basically broke down on something that's going to work for us, something that's going to, I think that's going to be catchy, that's going to, that we can pull towards and we actually believe in it and feel like we're getting instant results from. You see what I'm saying?
And honestly, I think if we could sell a couple celebrity dudes on it, and then they can sell it to, like, imagine somebody like Jay-Z. He could easily influence a young college athlete to do, you know what I'm saying, to do this or do that, or, you know what I'm saying, a couple people, high-powered people in the community, influence the young guys to do that. You see what I'm saying? To try to become your own brand, or, you know what I'm saying, or do your own thing. And you can easily do it, which is why I wasn't, I don't want to get into LeVar Ball, but I see that's what he's trying to do. It's like, why should I settle for a sneaker deal from these dudes? They making all the money off of us. We might as well just cut them out and get our own shit going. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Can't even see that. They can't even see that. Like Nike, he used to sell them joints out of his trunk. It wasn't always Nike like you see today. You see what I'm saying? So he's trying to, the shoe might not look how, like a Nike or because they're not there yet. We just understand what he's trying to do. You see what I'm saying? And support it. You know what I mean? That's the thing that bothers me is like, you know what I mean? But like you said, we got a long way to go, and it starts with that conversation about finances and ownership, and you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, Dr. Boyce Watkins talks about this a lot because I follow him. Talks about how Black dollars leave our community, I think, within like 3 to 7 hours or some shit within the time we own it. Jewish, it circulates for like 3 days. Koreans is like 7 days. You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't keep the money in our communities, and we're not empowering ourselves. And honestly, the biggest way, a lot of issues that we have as far as being second-class citizens and civil rights and all that stuff can easily be fixed if we should improve our economic conditions. Money speaks volumes. If Black people had money, nobody would treat us like shit because we got money. See what I'm saying? All that stuff that happened with gay people and gay rights, as soon as them gay billionaires started getting involved, you saw how fast them rights started trickling down? Gay marriage and all that other shit. As soon as some gay billionaires start getting involved and start putting that money into that shit, look, you can't say shit bad about a gay person now. That shit ain't just because.
No.
That shit ain't just because. That ain't because society decided that we just was going to be better. No, it's because the people with the money and the influence start putting their money into the politics, and it made society change. You see what I'm saying? So shit is economic. It ain't hard. It's economic. People respect you if you got money, and if you got money, you got power. It's just that simple. And so because we don't have any money and economic power, people don't respect us. Because we live in the hoods and these places, they don't respect us. They treat us any type of way. You can shoot one of us in the street and not have any fear because we don't have any lawyers that's gonna send your ass to jail. You see what I'm saying? But you should go ahead and shoot a fucking Jewish kid in the street. They'll get all that Jewish money. They gonna make sure your ass never gets out of jail. It doesn't happen. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't happen in the other communities because the money is behind it. But we can go on this joint all day. We got to get into this coon and shit and talk about your boys.
Man, you talk about that nigga because I'm gonna tell you, like,
he ain't
the only one.
You went out. You went out. Fix your phone. Yeah, you went dark. You ain't showing up.
Hold on a minute, man. What is going on with my connection? King.
Yeah, I'm
King.
here.
Can you see me?
I'm here. I can't see you, but I hear you. Every time you talk, the screen, it pops up, but you're black. The whole screen is black. It's like nothing on you.
And see, yours is doing that too, man. The connection was acting crazy. I guess it's my connection because my Wi-Fi keep popping off and on. Can you see me now?
No, I can't see you.
Oh, fuck it. All right, so look, you just got to hear me for now. But cool. I can see your ass. But basically, yeah, Jason Whitlock, man, the biggest motherfucking coon on national television right now, man. I mean, and you know the crazy thing about it, we not the dog. I know niggas that ain't even as pro-black or as enlightened or as conscious as you and I. But when they see this dude, it's so high, it's so evident that when they watch and hear him talk, it's almost like he's the traditional spokesman for white supremacy. I can't even. I mean, any and everything that anytime somebody says about anybody that's in a public light of a white person, he's quick to come to a defense. I watched the LeBron James thing that they just had on his show. What is the show called? Speak for your. What is it called again? This show or whatever. I forgot what it's called, but
with Colin Cowherd or his show.
His show is, what is it? Speak for yourself or
Speak for yourself. Yeah,
some shit like that. And I seen the shit between him and Chris Broussard or whatever, man. And I feel like Chris Broussard. I feel like he could have went way hard on the nigga, way harder.
He couldn't. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't. You know what I'm saying? He went as hard as he could go and keep his job. You know what I mean? Like, he called him out on it, but he couldn't go too much farther. You know what I mean? And so I feel like.
So let me ask you a question. Do he work for Fox or do he work for ESPN? Like, which one is it?
He worked for Fox now. He left ESPN and went to Fox. A lot of them dudes went over to Fox now.
Why would they do that though? I don't understand this shit.
They offer them more money. Now, Fox Sports is not the same as Fox News, though. A lot of people keep thinking just because it's Fox, you know what I'm saying, it's the same platform. You know what I'm saying? Fox Sports is not the same as Fox News. It's not Fox in general was not a Republican platform. Like, you know what I'm saying? They both, Fox and all the other stations are owned by the same type of people. It's not like they're different people. You know what I'm saying? It's just the platform in which they sell people on. You know what I'm saying? Like Fox News is selling you as if they're the conservative side. They're both the same people. They're just selling themselves as the opposing side. But you can see, like, in everything else that they do, it doesn't matter. You got FX, you got Fox Sports 1. The other shit, it doesn't matter. It's just in that Fox News platform where they sell you as if they're the conservative side of shit, or just they're the racist side. You're just doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing because that sells. You see what I'm saying? So I know they're no different than who owns fucking ESPN, which is Disney. Disney's not liberal. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, let's be honest. So I think it's just, you know what I mean? So people get you go to Fox Sports, why would you go there? I don't think it's not the same to me. But the boy is selling the fuck out though. Whitlock it's just I ain't never seen. I've always had a problem with him, even when he was at ESPN. He used to sometimes get on Around the Horn or Pardon the Interruption. Like he would always like guest star on shit. He would always say some crazy shit. And I'd be like, who the fuck is this fat motherfucker? Always got some crazy shit to say. Like, you know what I mean? But he really ain't start showing his ass until he got the fucking Fox Sports 1. And that's when he really started. He said the shit about Kaepernick. Then he tried to say LeBron James. First he had the one shit he said about LeBron James commercial and shit that he was like, oh, he don't know what discrimination is or something like that. Like he's just been really, it seems like every time it involves something where it's discrimination against blacks or inequality against black people, he tries to brush it off as if we're blowing up or we're playing victim, as if these things don't exist. Like, and it's just ridiculous to me. And it's like, why is he like even? And it really cut the fucking cake for me was when LeBron's house got vandalized, and he said that wasn't racism. He said it's an inconvenience, but it's not racism. I wanted to, like, honestly, I don't want, like, I'm not even a violent man like that, but like, you know what I'm saying, you do something to me, you're gonna have a problem. But if I saw him like in an airport or something, I honestly would think about hurting this man. Like there has to be consequences and repercussions for disrespecting your own people this way. Like this is where I say a code has to come into effect. You cannot get away with this shit in no other community. In other communities, they don't let you get away with this shit. You can't go on TV. A Jewish person can't go on TV and start saying that the Jews complain too much about the Holocaust. Can't say it. A Jewish person can't say that shit, or you might as well not even be a Jewish person no more. His money gonna be fucked up for life. You're done. You can't do it. You see what I'm saying? Asian person can't get on TV and say, tell Asian people stop complaining about this or whatever. Like, you can't do it. You're done. It has to start being consequences and repercussions for black people who start cooning, disrespecting their own people, placating the white people, and jucking and jiving. It has to be.
But this is my thing. How is it going to be? How is it in his case? How is it going to be any consequences or repercussions when he don't even associate with his kind? This is what I'm trying to tell motherfuckers. And
he needs to be ostracized. When I say that, I mean there is ways that we can do it. When he goes support, like I'm pretty sure he interviews black athletes, or he has black people as sources where he gets information from. Don't give him nothing. He started off as a journalist and a reporter, so don't give him nothing. You see what I'm saying? You just gotta cut his ass completely off. He gets nothing from us. I mean, literally needs to be like you know how you get them Amber Alerts on your phone? Needs to be an Amber Alert go out to every black person. Jason Whitlock has now been excommunicated from the black community. You are no longer, with a picture on that shit, you are no longer authorized to speak to this individual. You know what I'm saying? So you see this motherfucker, you don't serve this nigga in the red. If he goes in Red Lobster and he get a black server, she shouldn't serve his ass. You see what I'm saying? He needs to understand what he's done. You see what I'm saying? Like you cannot get away with this shit. There needs to be some kind of code where it's like, no, you can't, like down all the way from the top to the bottom. No, you're done. You're done. You can't get away. It needs to be something in effect. You can't keep. And the reason this shit keeps happening, and we had these situations with these Uncle Toms, and these coons is because there is no consequences for it. You see what I'm saying? If these other communities don't have these situations because there's consequences for it. They know I can't do that. They know they can't do that.
Just, and real quick, Keem, and just for the motherfuckers out there that really don't understand, or I feel like it's like I said earlier, is pretty much misusing the word coon, right? To me, my personal definition of a coon is somebody that basically they ride or die for white people. Like, but they do it in a way where they do this, they do this pretend, how can I say this? They create this pretend image that they really care about the well-being and they really care about the support of black people. But really the whole entire time, they're just utilizing the black name or the race black itself to really go and kiss ass and suck up to a white person. And they make crazy ass comments, outlandish comments, just like this dude right here. And you got, that to me, that's what a coon is. Somebody that basically is somebody that basically will do anything and everything that they possibly can to justify any actions that white people would do to a black person, to defend them, to try to talk about equality when things are looking like something negative is going on in the black community. And right now I'm trying to think of examples, because I don't want people to think, okay, because I'm saying this word, I'm misusing the word. Because I feel like I see it a lot. A lot of motherfuckers misuse it. I got into a heated debate or argument on Instagram yesterday, or the day before yesterday, about, because somebody called Charlamagne the God a coon in the comment section when he was talking about this book, Black Privilege. And I basically told the dude, I said, listen, nigga, Charlamagne is the only radio personality that brings controversial black figures on his show on a national stage, on a national radio stage. He's the only person to do that, and he said that he'd do that. Like he was like, so you don't think that he's like, my producers and the people that own the Breakfast Club, you think they agree with some of this shit? No, they don't agree with it. He said, but I do it anyway, because at the end of the day, I know my value, my worth, and what I bring to this actual television show. And I know what I want as far as getting the attention out there for these people and getting the world to get a chance to know these people and understand their ideology and understand their background. And he said, I think that shit is important. But I was arguing with a nigga about a coon, and he was like, I mean, coon this, and this nigga was having dinner and lunch with Tommy Lahern, and he's a support Hillary Clinton. I said, listen, dog. Me personally, I don't hate white people. I said, I don't hate white people. I just understand white people. I understand the historical aspects of white people and their origin and why they think and why they act the way they do. But as far as me hating white people, no, I don't hate white people. I have white friends. I have white coworkers. I have white peers that I'm involved with. It has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? I'm supportive of certain things that white people do. I've actually studied on the white people. I've learned some information. I don't hate white people. When I say pro-black, it means that I care about black people first. So at the end of the day, when I go hard for my people, I think about my people, but I don't hate a white person. You know what I mean? I'm just all about
equality.
Equality, but equality in a sense where it's justifiable. I don't go outside the norm when it comes to white people. So I was trying to explain this to the stupid ass nigga in the comment section. He was like, yeah, I'm going to your followers, and you call yourself pro-black and you got white friends. I said, dog, see, it's stupid motherfuckers like you to where you're in these comment sections and you're shouting the word coon, 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 and you're really misusing the word because you don't even know the definition yourself. You're just throwing it out there because it sounds good and it makes you sound pro-black and militant, but really you're ignorant. You're just saying this shit, dog. And that's the thing.
A lot of this pro-black stuff has become ignorant and actually become racist, and it actually become what we what we supposed to hate so much, a lot of us are becoming, and which has made me take a step back from. Like, I don't even consider myself conscious anymore. I don't even use that anymore. Conscious or pro-black
Yeah, me either. Me either.
or pro-black or I don't even use those certain trigger words no more because a lot of it has become exactly what we supposed to what we supposedly hated about what white folks have did to us, and of course it's not all white folks, but what white folk the history of what white people have done to as far as institutionalized racism have done, we
Yeah.
started to become, which has made me take a step back. I follow a lot of different pro-black pages, and it's just some of the shit that you read in the comments, some of the things to say is like, at the end of the day, they still human beings like we human beings. And all I want to see is equality across the board. Us have the same opportunities as they have, and things being set right and us being playing on an equal playing field. You see what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
grew up really with a lot of white people that have less than me. I went to high school with other poor white people. Do you know how they act? They act like black people because people who are poor act the same way everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Certain social
Yep.
economic conditions produce the same type of people. You see what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily it's the institutionalized racism that causes the issues. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if I go for a job interview and my white friend goes for a job interview, he's more likely to get it over me than I am. You know what I'm saying? Or
And
how
this is a fact. This is a fact. This is not racism. This is a fucking fact. This is the realism of what or the paradigm in which we live in, bro. Like this is not no racist shit.
and like that's the things that bother me. So when people say, and to me, I think the only way to fix those things, and the reason that people don't complete the thought, right? When people say they pro-black, they don't complete the thought and understand what that necessarily means. See, I feel like the only way to compete and to fix these things is to put ourselves on an equal playing field, in which I was talking about the economic base. Until we are seen as equals economically, educationally, and intellectually, then we won't be, you know what I'm saying? We can't compete in those fields. A lot of other races of people also were discriminated against. Asians were discriminated against. They made them build the railways. Hispanics, even the Irish. You see what I'm saying? A lot of other people, Jews, was discriminated against. How did they equal the playing field? They got their money right. You see what I'm saying? You get your money right. And that's the problem. See, we so busy trying to be included with everyone else instead of saying, you know what? We not fucking with nobody for right now. We gonna bring all this shit in. And we gonna fix it over here. We gonna fix all this shit in here. We gonna educate ourselves. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. We gonna do this. Then we gonna open this shit back up and start, you know what I'm saying, including everybody else. But in the meantime, we gonna bring this shit in. And that's what we need to do. We were so busy. As soon as they said fucking segregation was over, we left everything we owned and started shopping in they shit, started giving our money to they shit because we had this mentality that they shit was better. And it fucked up every fucking thing. We got to stop thinking that just because it's not us that is better. We got to bring this shit the fuck back in. So when I say I'm pro-black, I mean I'm for us to produce and compete on the same level as other races of people.
Exactly.
So that, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't demand respect. We don't have an army. Okay, you can't demand that they give us our rights because at the end of the day, we don't have a fucking army. We don't have a nation. But what we can do is get our economics right and demand a power base based off the money that backs us. That's what we can do.
Exactly.
And that's when I say, so when I'm talking about pro-black, I'm talking about pro-black economics. Because then you demand a seat at the table, you demand that conversation because you need our money. Hey, black people, we really need your money to invest in this. So whatever it is that you guys looking for, you know, you want more rights here, or you want more people to be included in here, or you want more politicians in this districts, we'll get it because they need our money.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, but we don't, now they get our money for free. As soon as we get a paycheck, we give it right to them. They get our money for free. We got to stop giving away our money for nothing and start getting something for it. And the way we do that is by bringing this shit back in. That's really what pro-black is. Because we're not building no armies right now. We're not getting no militia together. We're not about to overthrow the country. We're not about to kill all white people. Like, some of this pro-black shit is ridiculous. It's never going to fucking happen. All you do is make yourself like a fucking terrorist on fucking blog pages.
That's all it is.
Probably getting hit up by the FBI and CIA on a daily basis, monitoring your shit, looking like a fucking terrorist, saying this stupid ass shit. Like, you look stupid. It's not going to happen. If they want to off you, your ass is gone. Like, the best way to do it, if you want to be pro-black, is encourage pro-black economics. That's the best way to do it. I just want to get it off my chest, dog. My bad.
No, you good. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, man, it's a bill, and this is the information that we got to be able to discuss with people, man, and be able to talk about, man, and understand and bring these type of issues to the forefront when it comes to like our people, man. Because like I said, you know, if we don't talk about it, we don't build on the shit, man, then niggas is, you know, a lot of this shit gets swept under the rug, and a lot of this stuff happens, and then the occurs, and a lot of our people really don't sit back and really think about this shit. They don't look at it from an observational standpoint. They just they go along with their normal lives, man. And I think, like I said, we have to start putting ourselves in a position to become capitalists in this country and to take advantage of the things economically, the way things are set up, and build off of that, man. Invest into each other, build a certain level of stronger trust with each other, and stop Sambo bootlicking for other people, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to single out the white man. I'm just saying in general, like, because I mean, by this sellout shit, man, I'm telling you right now, this shit is not gonna get you far, man. Like, honestly, like, at the end of the day, you're gonna always need your motherfucking people. So, you know, you could sit in and sit around, but you the one got to go home and live with yourself, man, when it comes to that situation, man. But what about to say, King? I think we can pretty much wrap shit up, man. I'm fucking exhausted, bro.
Same here, dog. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. Been at work all day.
Nigga, you. I've been up since what, 4:30 in the morning. Oh my god, like,
you got me by about 30 minutes.
Damn, boy, I swear,
it's been 2 hours of Chuck E. Cheese with a bunch of bad kids running around me.
Oh my god! And listen, bro. This is what I'm talking about. Black fatherhood, man. People don't understand like what comes with that shit, man. Like, it's
sacrifice.
Sacrifice. I put up on my Instagram snap the other day here, and of course I had about 4 or 5 motherfuckers hit me up. I was like, yo, listen, Father's Day coming up next weekend. Ladies, y'all better take care of all the fathers out there, man. I don't want to hear no shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, of course, I had some females hit me up on there. I mean, what you mean, take care? I mean, what the hell y'all need a Father Day for? Y'all don't do nothing. I mean, y'all do what y'all supposed to do. What?
So do you.
Boy, you know I had to go slam me.
So do you.
Exactly. I mean, we deserve a day. We had to hold the baby and give life. Like, what did y'all do?
And this also goes on something that we talked about earlier. Remember we were talking about the attack being on masculinity?
Yes.
That's a part of it too, dog, where this whole thing about like men don't deserve credit for shit all of a sudden now because we've got credit for shit in the past. We don't deserve credit for shit now, or like this whole new mentality that has been shaped up, like where it's just wrong to be masculine. Like, it's just ridiculous. Or like to even be proud of being like to say you proud to be a black father is like, oh, you know what you're supposed to do. Like, how many, like, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do too, but you proud to be a mother. Why I can't say I'm proud to be a father? Why I can't say I'm proud to be a man? You see what I'm saying? Like, why I can't celebrate the fact that I'm a man and I'm proud of being a man and I'm proud of me taking care of my responsibilities and I'm proud of the man that I've become and I'm proud of doing the things that men do and I enjoy these things. What is wrong with me saying that? You see what I'm saying? It's like things like that are being attacked. Every time a woman sees something, what is that supposed to mean? Like, what? It means exactly what I said. To say how you get on shit all the time talking about respect the mothers and do this and do that and blah blah blah. I should be able to say the same shit. I should be proud to be a man like you proud to be a woman. Like what's wrong with that? It's just crazy to me now. Like this is how I was like man shaming. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. But what was I about to say, man? For those that was viewing this night, man, I think we've been on for about almost 2 hours. It was a great build tonight, man. We're gonna come back next week. I really don't know the subject right now as far as the material that we're gonna touch bases on. We may do something a little bit different again. Maybe touch bases back into some things as far as history, some things that dealing with books, some things that we may also do a review as well, man. Me and Keem, something else that we love to talk about and build off. Or we watch a lot of television shows, movies. We do our own. We do our own little breakdown and decoding of certain things, and we give our own like theoretical perspectives on how things go, and or also our opinions on how on views on as far as movies, television series. So we may touch bases on something like that. I think that'll be something different for us too.
Yeah, next week I think a good topic for us would be culture appropriation. I'm reading a book right now called Renegade History. It's called Renegade American History. Matter of fact, hold on right quick. I'm about to get the book.
All right, go ahead. Whew. It's been a long day, family. I'm telling you, boy, your boy is exhausted over here. I know y'all seen my eyes get low a couple times, but whew. It's all good though.
So reading this book right here, it's called, you can't see the title, it's probably flipped around, called A Renegade History of the United States. Good, it's a good ass read, man. I'm about halfway through right now. It covers a chapter now. I don't want to get too deep in it right now, but it talks about even from the times of slavery and post-Reconstruction era, how white Americans were still in our culture. How they even at one point they longed to be like they actually envied us because we were slaves, and the cult and how we found happiness even in being slaves. And they copied our culture from the way we dressed, danced, and our slave music, and actually went on shows around America. And it was one of the number one hits in America was these minstrel shows where they were emulating slave culture. It was amazing. I was like, so even from the times of slavery, they've been stealing our culture. The time of slavery, like they admire us. We come from the harshest economic conditions, from the toughest ghettos and streets of America, go through the toughest hardships, and they envy us. They envy us. It literally shapes us into diamonds, into kings and queens, and they envy it. Even from the times of slavery, they don't understand how we find so much joy, happiness, and creativity in these conditions. They don't understand. It's amazing, man. I'm telling you. You got it.
So this is so basically what you just talked about is similar to what like Charlemagne was talking about, like black privilege. Like regardless of what our circumstances is, we always seem to like about this book, Black Privilege, is what I read is that we always seem to persevere and find some good out of the negative to transpire and become something.
And honestly, I think struggle is one of the number one creative forces in the world. Like out of struggle causes you to be more creative because you got to find a way to get out of that situation. So, I mean, I think that's, you know what I'm saying, just from that struggle, you can see all the things we have created. I mean, hip hop, for example, comes from a system of, it comes from poverty and the struggle. So, I mean, you can just see, you know, our greatest athletes come from out of that poverty and that struggle. So all our creativity comes from us being in the position that we was in. And it's funny how we envy them and we want to be, you know, in the big house and the mansion and all this other stuff and have the money and not have the struggles. They envy us because of our creativity that comes out of that.
Got you.
So, you know what I mean? So, but you got to read the book. The book really breaks it down, gives you names.
And you said And you said it's dealing with culture appropriation. You said, right?
Well, it deals with a lot of stuff, but there's a chapter in there that really covers slaves and culture appropriation and just like, you know what I'm saying, stuff that they didn't teach you in your history books about things that they were doing. The book basically covers a lot of stuff that they didn't teach you in your history books. So it gives you the other side of the history of the United States and the founding of the United States. And besides the names, you know what I'm saying, your George Washingtons, your Thomas Jeffersons, and you know what I'm saying, those people, it gives you
Yeah.
these other people that, you know, blacks, Hispanics, Irish, gays, all types of, you know what I'm saying, it gives you this underground history that they tried to hide from you. And one of these
Yeah.
things, one of these chapters, he talks about the culture appropriation, how they try to hide the fact that how white people have been doing this for a while. And it's actually written by a white man. So it's interesting that he was honest about that in this chapter. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay. All right. Well, shit. Like I said, you know, we got a whole week, man. So me and you could talk about the certain aspects you want to take of it, and then build it into our discussion, whatever. So whatever you cool with, we probably make it do a rundown on some other things as well. So I'm with that.
All right, that's a bet.
All right, man. Well, listen, man. Thank y'all for tuning into Black Men Discuss. This your boy Street Colonist, man. Um, we had a ball tonight, man. We talked about the NBA to give a review. We also talked about LeBron James in the closing seconds of Game 4. Game 3. We talked about to give a rundown as well. We also talked about the financial literacy and the state of which athletes are they doing enough for their respective communities as far as financially goes. Are they devoting their money in? We also build on certain things that we can improve on our own financial situations, how we should start devoting and putting our money together into our own businesses, teaching each other, teaching our children how to put our money together, and how we also can use our money to start sending our kids off to black universities. Then from black universities, we become business owners, and the athletes can transition and it be more so gathered and geared around towards black people. We also talked about the word cooning and also different aspects of people that actually is cooning, and also we tied that back to a lot of different things as well. So if you enjoyed the webcast, man, please like, comment, subscribe. It will be uploaded directly right after this, and we're gonna keep y'all posted, man. You got something to say, King?
No, you pretty much covered it, man. Tune in next week.
All right, man. Tune in next week, man. Peace.
Peace.